everyone, it's Stephanie from My Porch Prints. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be making this no-sew planner kit. This is from a kit in our Etsy shop. And it's just a fun little kit for creating a journal where you can keep track of monthly things like your mood, the books that you want to read, the movies you want to watch, prayer list, to-do list, calendar. There's all kinds of pages. You can pick the ones that work best for you and include them in your journal. So we're gonna go ahead and print this out and get started putting it together. Okay, so I went ahead and printed everything on 110-pound Pen & Gear brand cardstock, but you can use whatever cardstock works best for you. And I've got the cover right here, and then this also includes some lined pages and some blank pages. And then it's also got a dot grid, so if you wanna do like a bullet journal. And then it has these like floral pages. And then we also have these, what I would consider pages you might want to print more than one of if you're doing a monthly journal. So you're probably going to have more than one grocery list in a month. So you might want to print like 4 of these, one for each week of the month. And then same thing with some of these other things. You may want to just print, 4 or 5 of my weeks, because there's usually 4 or 5 weeks in a month. And then you might want to print extra copies of your weekly reflections, maybe your meal planner, your weight tracker possibly. And then even if you have more passwords than this, you may want to print this page a few times. And then same thing with like the prayer list. And then we've also got these pages, like a monthly calendar. You probably just need one of these pages. So we have a calendar, birthdays and anniversaries for the month, movies that you want to watch, and books you want to read in the month. And then your bucket list, goals, mood tracker, to-do list, and notes. So we're gonna go ahead and cut all of this out and get started putting together our monthly planner. Okay, so to begin with, we wanna locate our pages, and they look just like this. And there's a lot of them. As I said, you can print extras of the ones that you need. And then you wanna decide kind of what order to put them in. That's really up to you. There's no right or wrong order. It's just kind of how you want to organize them in your monthly planner. So I'm going to have goals be the first page. So I'm putting that one on top. And then what we're gonna do, I've folded all of these ahead of time so you don't have to watch me fold all of them on video. But what I basically did was just fold them in half and crease them with my bone folder. And now we're going to go ahead and glue them together. So I'm gonna take the first 2 pages, which is goals and my mood tracker, and I'm just going to glue them together. And just make sure everything's aligned really nicely. You might just slide it around a little to kind of get it where you want it. And after we're done gluing the first 2 pages together, we're gonna set them aside and we're gonna glue the next 2 pages together, and we're gonna continue that. And the reason is, if we keep gluing them to one side, it gets really high and then it gets hard to align. If you have just one page and one page, it aligns just a little easier, I think, in my personal opinion. And again, just check, make sure things are right side up, that you don't have your page upside down or anything. And we'll just continue this process, and once we have all of our sets of 2 pages glued, we'll start gluing those to each other. Now you can see I've gotten to the end and I've got this kind of lonely page left, and I'm gonna go ahead and just glue it onto this last set of pages. You may have a different amount depending on how many pages you want to print of each one and how you're putting it together. So it just depends. Okay, and so that's going to be the last page. I'm going to set that over here, and then I'm going to put my pages back in the order that I want them in. And I'm going to start the process, again, with my first page, or my first set of pages, and my second set of pages, and I'm going to glue those together. And this process will just continue until we have the whole book. And the important thing is to get the spine to be flat and straight, so that's the part you want to concentrate on. I've got my spine touching the board here, and it's going to be nice and flat on that part because we don't want our spine to get out of alignment. Okay, it's looking pretty good. A couple of pages are a little sticky. You want to make sure they don't get dried, stuck together, so just kind of lightly go through and make sure. And then we're gonna set that aside for a moment, and we're gonna locate our covers, and that's these two pieces, and then this is our spine. And before you put any of this on, if you want to, you could take a ribbon and glue it around your journal, and that would help create a closure. I'll show you what I mean. So you could just take some ribbon, wrap it around the spine, and glue it on here. And then that would create a little place that you could create a tie. And then when you open up your journal, you know, you would be able to close it with a tie, tied into a bow or something. I'm not gonna do that on this one, but you can do that ahead of time. And then once you have that glued on, you can cover it with your cover pieces. But to begin with, we're gonna go ahead and locate the spine of our journal. And you can see it looks really fat, but when you squeeze it down, it should shrink enough that you can cover it with your spine piece. So to do that, I'm going to just kind of mold this piece around it, just kind of like this, to get an idea of where it's gonna bend. I'm not gonna actually fold it on the lines that you see here. Those are just there as kind of like, you know, those are there as part of the tabs, but we're not gonna actually fold on those lines. So once you kind of see, you know, what it's going to look like, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this part, this first tab, onto the front cover. So I'm just adding glue to the rest of the spine and the other tab. And we're going to pull that around, and we're gonna smash this tight so that your spine isn't puffed up. We're gonna smash it down and wrap this around. And if you don't wanna have to sit here and hold this in place, you could use some clamps to hold it down while it's drying. Okay, and now we can take the clamps off, and that should be mostly dry. Okay, and just make sure that you've got your journal right side up when you're working with it. We're gonna go ahead and add the covers. So the front and back covers are pretty much the same. You don't have to worry about which one goes where, but we're gonna go ahead and add those on. And if you notice that they're just a little bit too long, it can happen sometimes, like I didn't trim this one very well. You can always trim it up before you glue it down. And if you wanted to, you could glue just the top and the side and the bottom, and you could create like a little pocket right here, like a secret pocket in your front cover if you wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and just glue mine on. Right, and then we'll flip it over and we'll glue the back cover on as well. Okay, and now you can decorate your cover. You can do whatever you want with this. It's completely up to you. The journal comes with some decorative pieces. Otherwise, you can, you know, do it however you like. And if you're making a monthly journal, we also have these monthly images. And this one could go on the front of your journal. And then there's the skinny one that could go on the spine, so that you can have a journal for each month of the year, and you could put them all together and they would have a nice little reference here for what month is which. But I think I'm just going to make mine a journal. So I'm going to put this on the front and then maybe some florals. And I'm going to use a little bit of mounting tape in this project just to make items pop up off the page a little bit. There we go. And this journal comes with a few items for decorating. It comes with some pockets. They look like this. We've got vertical pockets, and then we've got pockets that go down at the bottom. And if you want, you can like punch a half circle out of these using like a circle punch to make like a little kind of half moon shape, or you can round the corners, whatever you want to do. And then it also comes with these dimensional pieces, and these are the same as the images in the pages. And what you can do with those is just add a little mounting tape to the back. I'll show you here, and make the images just kind of pop up off the page, which I think is kind of fun. And it just adds a little dimension to your journal. Just kind of get it right over the top of the picture. Just like that. I've got another one here. But this journal doesn't come with lots and lots of ephemera, just because it can get really big really quickly, and it's more for recording than for, you know, decorative purposes. So we don't want too many things popping up off the page, making it hard to write. And you can add as much or as little of this as you want to your own journal. So we can continue to add those as we go through. And then the pages like this that are sort of blank, you can use for the pockets. And if you're looking for a way to find the middle of your pocket, a quick way is to just meet the corners here and put a little crease just right at the top. And that'll kind of show you where the middle of the pocket is. And then when you go to punch, it helps you center your half circle there. And if you wanted to, you could ink around the edges to make this stand out a little bit more. I think I'll do that. And then we'll just add some glue to the sides and the bottom. And don't wiggle your pocket around too much, or that will spread the glue. And I like to give it just a little bit of a border all the way around so that there's room. Right, and then we can just go through and add our pockets and our ephemera wherever you want, wherever it looks pretty to you. And then the other thing to add to this is these page tabs. And you can see that they go along with the items in your journal with the pages. And so if you want, you can add those. So I would want to find the one for goals, which is this one. And that would be my first page. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half and attach it. And you could put them at the top as well if you'd rather have them up here. But I'm going to go ahead and put mine on the side. And you may even want to do this before you add pockets and things, just because sometimes the ephemera and pockets can get in the way. And the next one is my mood tracker, so I'll find that one. And I'll just put it kind of behind and slightly down from that one. And that's what we'll do, just stagger them down the side. Okay, so now I'm going to just start kind of adding pockets and decorating, and you guys can just follow along and get some ideas for your own journal. Okay, so here's our finished planner journal for the month. And let's take a look inside and see how we did. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. You'll find the link to this kit down below in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed this or would like to see more projects, please like and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye!